Welcome back to Tansy Academy. In this video, we'll be talking about database hosting. What are the different options available for companies or as a student, where you'll be hosting your database server or your database that holds your database tables. So this is the slide we looked at in chapter 2. So this is the DB server and this is your computer. You install a SQL client tool and you communicate with the DB server. So this DB server is like a regular computer that will have different software, software 1, software 2, and this will be one of the piece software called database management system software. Again, this software may be coming from Mysql or Postgres, Oracle or MS SQL. So now we'll look into what will be your options in hosting this database to complete your project. And this is another setup where if you do not have the option of hosting your database remotely in a cloud, you can as well host this, install this DBMS software, server software on your computer along with your SQL client tool. You can do that as well. And let's see how it is actually done in real time in the companies where you go and work for. So this is called client server setup. You will be having a computer, they like our computer, but it will be more powerful with more CPU and more hard disk and more memory. So they call it's a server. They call it DB server because they will be using this only to host the database and save your data within the database tables. They will not use this for any other purpose. Of course, if it is a small company, they might be use this for email, to host the front end, all those things. But for this discussion, let's assume that this computer is used only to host your database. So we call it a DB server. And this is called client server because any number of clients can connect to this server. Let's say you have this is a banking software. They have installed the banking database here. You have the teller connecting to the database, or you have someone trying to connect from the mobile app, or accountant trying to look at the reports. So there will be a lot of people connecting to this server. So DB software such as MS SQL, MySQL, Postgres, or Oracle is installed on this server. DB server, robust hardware with sufficient storage to handle multiple DB requests. So we already talked about this. Client is these are the clients. A client can be web, desktop, or mobile apps. Use DB drivers to connect and interact with your server. So they install something like DB drivers so that when they try to connect, so these both can talk properly, communicate properly. Network, this is the network. So this is secure network so that no one else, outsiders, cannot hack this system, or they cannot enter into a DB server without proper security. The common issue is this server, as our computer, it's fixed. Once you have a memory or hard disk, it's fixed. Let's say on the January 1st or end of the year sales, you are having too much traffic on your e-commerce website. It's very hard for you to increase memory or bring in more hard disk, bring in more network bandwidth and all. So this is the common issue. So what companies started doing to move away. And other issue is, let's say there are floods in your city, or like there are any other disasters like floods or fires, or even political instability, like you have seen fires in LA recently. So if something like this happen, you lose this server, that means your data is gone. That is, of course, you can take a backup, but if your backup is somewhere within your office, then backup is gone and the server is gone. So that is the biggest issue with this setup. So what companies started doing is they have moved this box, okay, into the cloud, okay, somewhere on the internet, not in your office. This is your office, assume, and this is in the office. Now with this cloud server setup, they have moved the server to the cloud. Cloud means some facility somewhere where you can access it via internet, and this facility is little bit more secured than your office. It is secured for fires, floods, even political instability and all. There are some cloud server providers where your servers are hosted below the ground, like 1,000 2,000 meters. You have to go down using elevators to protect it from all sorts of evil events. So this is called cloud server. The difference is it's everything same, client server you are trying to connect. Only thing is, instead of this server being in your office, it is on the internet. Okay, but what is the problem with this? The complex setup and security threats. As you are accessing this server via internet, anyone else can hack into the system and can get hold of your server. And number two, you need the proper resources to manage the server. You here You need a DB admin or a OS admin to operate or to manage update the softwares on this Windows software or Unix software or Oracle software. You have to keep updating, so you need a proper resources to do that. Even here you need proper resources, plus you should be well versed with trying to set up a proper secured connection between this and make sure no others can hack into the system. So complex setup and system failures, data production, software updates and maintenance, manage your own backup, So these are the issues with this. So what did the companies do after coming to this step? They started moving to cloud shared database. What this means is this database server is owned by some XYZ company, and you as a company you can hire the space for one database. Remember, you don't own the server, someone else owns the server, and then company A, B, C, D, E uses the same server, and you own only the piece of the database. Remember, a DB server can hold multiple databases, right? So you are renting only one database. So in this case, you avoid the complex work of trying to upgrade your software, trying to maintain the Windows operating system, maintain the security, everything this company will take care. You just keep using your database. So, and this has limitations too. Let's say you want to change some DB settings at the server level. You do not have access at the server level because it is shared by all the companies, and you just have the ability to do what you can do in this database. So that is the issue with this. And then even from this, what company did is they moved again. This is cost efficiency when compared to this solution or this solution. Okay, it's a cheaper solution available in the market. Now what people are doing, instead of going through this, now they want more flexibility of increasing the CPU or increasing the memory or increasing the hard disk and be independent. So this is the solution. It is called serverless cloud databases. Like you are renting a database here, you can rent the kind of like a DB server, but not worrying about the operating system or installing the Oracle upgrades or installing your DBMS software upgrades. You're not worried. Even security, everything is taken care by this cloud provider. So, and plus you like here, if you want to increase the memory, you have to replace the server, or sometimes this server has a max memory. If you want more than that, you have to replace the server. So here at a click of a button you can increase the memory. So this is the what most of the companies are using these days. Okay, so auto scaling, resources automatically adjust to match the application's demand. You can have a setting saying that if my hard disk is full, you can increase to next add another 100 GB. You can do that. Maintenance free, cloud provider manages the infrastructure, server maintenance, updates, scaling, reducing the administrative burden on the company. Immediate availability, if you want to do something like this, you have to purchase, you have to bring it, you have to set up the network, install the OS and all. Here you can get your cloud instance within like a half an hour or 10 minutes. Okay, built-in high availability and redundancy. If something goes wrong, if there is a war in the city where this data center hosts your service, they have a backup, and you will get access to the backup immediately if something happens to your primary copy. So that is what meant by high availability and redundancy. Ensures high reliability and data durability by automatically handling replication and backups. We'll be talking about replication and backup in the next slide. So these are the three famous cloud providers for this solution. Azure is from Microsoft, then you have Google Cloud, and then you have Amazon Web Services. And then these are the, again, we have been talking about MySQL, Postgres and all. So when it comes to cloud serverless database, there are other databases, let's say Redshift. Redshift as a database is available only on the cloud through AWS. You cannot use Redshift on Azure, or you cannot use Google Cloud. It's only available from AWS serverless databases. Plus, if you want to use Postgres, MySQL or Oracle, you have to use the AWS RDS solution. In this RDS solution, you have to select what type of DBMS, is it Oracle or SQL or Postgres or MySQL you are going to use this for, so that you can set up your RDS in that way. If you are going to use Microsoft, so this should be Azure, sorry. So if you are going to use Azure Microsoft Cloud Provider, so this is the solution available for you to host your database as a serverless. Okay. Again, few of them are again server based. That means you have to run the server and install the software on it. And few of them, something like Azure SQL database, this is a cloud. You don't need to worry about the maintaining the server and upgrades to the server. Okay. And we will be talking about DB replication backup. See, backup is like you take backup of your phone images, you copy it somewhere else. Same thing, you have your database server, you copy the database files onto some media and keep it separate, that is not live. You cannot use this. This is just a backup. Okay. Storage. DB backups can be stored on various media. This can be a hard disk, or it can be magnetic tapes, or it can even be stored on a cloud provider network. It is similar to making a copy of an existing file. Timing usually performed at scheduled intervals. You will do it either daily or weekly over the weekend. Purpose ensures data safety by allowing recovery from backup in case data loss or corruption happen. Let's say this is your primary database used by your application, web server, e-commerce and all. If something happens to this, you can restore the database with your backup. Okay, this is a low cost when compared to replication. Now we'll look into replication. See, in replication, this is your database server, okay, MasterDB USA. You are not going to take a copy over the night or over the weekend. In the replication, what happens is, in the cloud providers, you can say, I want to replicate my database in 3 different countries or cities. You can say, my main database is here. Can you please replicate to one of the server, copy to the Canada, and one to UK, one to India. So as your applications are using the server, they are inserting data, they are updating, they are deleting. These changes will be automatically applied to these 3 slave instances up to the minute or up to the second sometimes. So this is called replication. And one more beauty about replication is, you can connect to this and you can also run queries against this. In backup, you cannot even connect, because it's a flat file backup copy. But here, its replication is replicating the whole server along with your DBMS software, along with your database, along with your tables, everything. It can be connected and you can run queries against this. So that is the difference between replication and DB backup. So what is the purpose of replication? See, if something goes wrong, if something happens in your city, if this is in USA, somewhere in California, if you have earthquakes and the data center is gone, you will lose the server. So that means your clients, worldwide clients, will be affected by this. So what happens if you have a replication? So your application is smart enough to say, okay, I'm not getting any communication from here. I'm going to connect to this and run my web application and save my orders and process my orders. Okay. So primarily used for high availability, load balancing and distributing. See, if you are running reports, they'll be running against this. If you are doing inserting, update, deleting, they'll do from here. So that is what is load balancing. If you do not have this, reports has to be run from here, and then insert, update, deletes everything has to happen here. Now you can shift the loads accordingly. Real time involves continuously copying data from one database to another, ensuring that the replica is always up to date up to the second. We already talked about it. Active use. That means this is also usable. This is also active all the time. Okay. And then, when you are storing your data on the cloud, it's a standard practice to encrypt some of the data, like your passwords or salaries, whatever sensitive information you have, you can encrypt within a column or a table, or you can encrypt your entire database that involves all the tables. So there are 2 ways how you can encrypt your data. See, you have a key to open the lock or to open the door, right? So you have something like private keys. It is like a file with all characters in it. So you use that, and you use some sort of encryption software to say, use this file as a key which has a lot of characters that no one can read. No, you cannot replicate unless it's copied. And you say that encryption software, please, if you have all the employee names, salaries and all, you can say, encrypt my file using this, and this will be your using this key. This is also a file. It will be encrypted so that it's not readable. It will be like alpha, beta, gamma. You won't know. Here you can read, okay, John's salary is 50,000. Here you won't see John and 50,000 because it's encrypted in different format. Again, if you want to get it back, you use the same key to decrypt. It will be coming back. But what happens if someone stole this key? Key is a file, right? Like a text file, like a notepad. If someone stole this, they can decrypt. So you have something like hashing. This is what this technology is used in Bitcoin. Hashing is like, let's say you have a password of ABCD123. So this hashing converts this into some decrypted. Like here you use the key, but here it will use a different technology to decrypt. But the thing here is, It cannot be reversed back like using a key. You cannot get back the password ABC123. Once you decrypt, it's always decrypted and no one knows what is the source is. So how do you use this? So once you save your password ABC123, it will get converted to some characters and stored. And next time when you try to log in, whatever password you provide, it will try to convert that password again into decryption, and then it will compare the initially stored decrypted password and the newly generated decrypted password when you're trying to log in. If those are the same, then only it will allow you to log in. But the thing is, you wouldn't know what the password can be using this decrypted the hashing algorithm. So this is decrypted using hashing algorithm. This is the same technology used in Bitcoin. Okay, and so here is a sample example. Instead of storing the salary directly 100,000, 200,000, you can use encryption technique on this column. Same way, if you're having a user table with the login and password, you can encrypt. It's a very standard practice. Okay, and then what is the importance of data in any company? Any CEO or other resource like VP manager can be replaced. Web and mobile apps that you use to connect to your data can be rebuilt. Every 5 years the mobile app changes, the web app changes, but your data remains same. But losing your data can disrupt business continuity. So now you have to understand the importance of data. Anything can go and come, but your data has to be there for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, or 100 years if it's a bank, right? Informed decision making. So apart from running your business and storing the account transactions and account balances, you can have a second look at the data. While people are using it for operations, business operations, you can use it to look at what do I have, what happened, why did it happen. You can analyze your data. You can use data science algorithms on this to predict or to see what happened, or you can predict what can happen. Okay, data provides crucial insights that enable companies to make well-informed decisions, helping to optimize operations, reduce cost, and identify new market opportunities. Competitive advantage: utilizing data effectively allows companies to stay ahead of competition. Yeah, and then this is the software development environment. Let's say you are working in some XYZ company or a Citibank or Infosys or TCS. So you will be having your database server in the development environment. You will be writing the code. Okay, like a database, you'll be creating tables, you'll be writing select statements, you'll be writing reporting queries, or you'll be writing store procedures. Everything will be done here. So once the development is done from your side, from the UI development side, from API Python side, all this code will be moved to a testing environment. Okay, so after it's moved to a testing environment, the QA tester, software tester, will test the functionality to make sure if they meet the required desired functionalities. If there is any bug, and if there are bugs, they will send it back to the development. If there is a bug in your SQL query, they will send it back. If they say, hey, I'm getting my, instead of getting $100, it's duplicating to 200, so you have to come back and fix your query, push your changes to development, then it will be moved testing, and then the QA tester will verify your changes. After QA tester approves these changes, this project, this application, it will be moved to staging environment, and then there will be some sort of testing here. Finally, it will move to the production, so that your customers can start using and make orders or do whatever, or they can use as a hospital management, any software. It will be moved to production. So in general, you will be having four, or some places you will have only three: development, testing, and production. But remember, if you are joining a small company, always make sure you push for this architecture. Do not start developing in like staging and push it to production without any testing. Do not ever do that, and do not ever try to connect. See, most of the senior people have access to look at the data in production, but even at my level, after 25 years, I will always ask them to give me read-only access. I will not try to modify, edit, or delete, or insert data here. I will, whatever I have to do, I'll try to do it on this 2 3 environments, not on the production. Okay, as a database developer, never execute, update, or delete statements in production environment. Always use development DB to perform your DB development task. At times, data selection from prod environment is audited and monitored. Take up corporate and social responsibility, protecting the company data. And this is the setup, complete setup. If you are doing your project in MySQL, client tool we have already discussed. Install MySQL Workbench on your computer. And for the DB server, install MySQL Community Edition if you want to install this server on your PC. Or we recommend this option too. It's ivan.io. You can go and create your MySQL server for free without even using your credit card. So we recommend this. If you want to pay like $10-20 a month, you can also create your MySQL database on Amazon cloud provider. Okay, and you get a 12 months free, but the catch is they take your credit card. If you use something that is outside of a free trial, you will be charged, and if you forget after a year, you will get charged. So these are the risks. So that's why always I prefer the cloud provider that's providing for free but without even asking for a credit card. We have a video on this, how to set up a MySQL server on this. And for Postgres, the same provider also allows you to create Postgres serverless server. So you just create the server there, and you don't have to worry about your operating system, your security, updating the software. Everything is taken care. All you do is create an instance and start creating your database and create your tables without using your credit card or debit card. You just sign up with your Gmail. There is no sign up form also. They are not going to ask you what's your name, age, city, address, nothing. You say I'm going to sign up with Gmail and you're done. And then as a client tool, use pgadmin for Postgres. For Oracle, so far I haven't find any serverless provider. You can use Amazon RDS. You can also look at Oracle provider where they give you opportunity to create, but again I did not find it like as smooth as other providers where they are giving you free server. Okay, but if you can satisfied with what Oracle Cloud is providing at a free trial, you can use that, or try to install it on a personal computer to begin with. If not, go try with Oracle Cloud provider, or pay $20-30 a month and create it on RDS. It is free initially. Okay, you have to, but the catch is you have to give your credit card. If you are very careful, you will never be charged. That's there. You have to be very careful and organized, and you have to delete and drop that server before they start charging you. Okay, and same thing with the MS SQL server. This is a free client tool, and again, you for MS SQL, if you are doing project, you can install it on your computer, or you can hire the MS SQL server from Azure, or you can go for AWS also provides this. Okay, and that's it for the lesson. We'll be having separate videos to show how to actually create MySQL and Postgres serverless server for free of charge, and then how do you connect after you create this. We'll also show starting your client tool pgadmin, and how do you actually connect to the database that you just created. We have two videos. Please make sure to watch those videos. Thanks a lot.